This alpine village, blanketed with snow and home to the World Economic Forum, is a long way to come to find answers for building a better India. But that's exactly what the country's Minister for Road Transport and Highways and his delegation from the subcontinent was here to do last week in Switzerland, on the back of news that Asian economies will drive global growth.
Well, while we are on a growth trajectory, the challenge is not only to maintain and sustain that growth, but in a vibrant democracy, we must ensure inclusive growth which touches all sections of society and growth in all parts of the country.
That's why one of the burning issues among politicians and captains of industry in Davos this year was India's increasing need to invest in infrastructure if it is to achieve its growth forecasts in the next decade.
Infrastructure is the biggest single bottleneck we have for India's future. Our rate of investment is half what we would like it to be in roads, ports, education.
India is now developing at roughly the same rate as China. It's heading right towards 10% per annum in growth. And there's no question the transport system in India is massively under-supported at the moment. So the first thing to say is anything is welcome to improve the transport sector, because without this improvement, that economic growth is going to be stalled.
With traffic mushrooming by up to 10% annually and an automotive industry growing at 12%, government and big business are clearly aware of the challenges. That's why Kamal Nath has an ambitious plan to build 7,000 kilometres of new highways every year. That's 20 kilometres a day. Worth $70 billion over 2 years, it's one of the world's biggest programmes of public-private partnerships.
We have the second largest road network in the world. We have 3.4 million kilometers of roads. And there is a huge deficit here. And roads is something which covers all parts of the country. Roads impacts agriculture, industry and trade.
India is looking to emulate its larger neighbour China, where Beijing's development of a world-class network of roads has helped fuel rampant growth.
Without the basic infrastructure, we'll never be able to make it. We'll never be able to take off. We probably have to be there on the ground. We need people to move across the nation. We need goods to move across the nation.
India is the second largest producer of fruits and vegetables. 40% of them rot, but they never reach the marketplace. So it impacts agriculture. And when these roads move into rural India, they generate economic activity, which is very important. Rural purchasing power increases. So it has a very all-inclusive dimension to it.
That inclusive dimension also extends to land acquisition. It's the biggest challenge facing India's road builders right now. Unlike China, India is painstakingly compensating thousands of small landowners across the country, a democratic process that complicates and delays plans.
If the government gets its act right together, uses the funds which are pouring into India today to invest in infrastructure, which anyone who's been to India knows is woefully inadequate, then I think we would have found the magic mantra to really kickstart growth on a much higher level.
Part of Nath's mission in Davos, looking to attract billions of US dollars in foreign direct investment for India's roads. A decade ago, money poured into the subcontinent's IT industry. Now it's time for bitumen and concrete.
Infrastructure, yes, there's lots to be done in India and there's lots of opportunity. There's a significant focus by the current government to focus on the physical infrastructure. There are a lot of opportunities for companies to invest into this.
I think it's absolutely crucial because it stimulates growth, it stimulates investments, it stimulates employment, and it gives communication to villages. Because these are not projects in large cities, they're projects which are interconnecting small cities, interconnecting cities to cities, interconnecting villages.
For every $22,000 spent on rural roads in India, 163 people are lifted out of poverty, according to the World Bank. This is especially important in a country of 1.2 billion people, many of whom are rural poor. Yet plans are now in place for several mega roads costing over $1 billion apiece, 17,000 kilometres of expressway network could soon link up India's more remote centres.
This should have been done 10 years ago. But, better late than never. So I'm glad they're doing it at least now. But, the point that I really want to emphasize here is, for long, the assumption in a lot of poor countries has been we're too poor to afford the infrastructure. I actually look at the causality the other way, which is I think we are poor because we lack the infrastructure.
Thousands of new roads stretching across India look set to change the lives of millions and in the process change the face of the country.